So one day I slept and I had a dream. And the Lord revealed to me that I needed to bind the strong man. Wisdom does not solve power problem. Again, He has given you and I authority to put the enemy in his place. And it is an operation of faith. It takes believing that you have been given that delegated authority to exercise your God-given authority against the enemy. When I was in school, there was this course I did, Introduction to Computer. I did information technology. So the introduction to computer was like, let me say, one of the simplest courses that somebody in that department would need to do, because that was elementary part of the course. However, it was a university required course, meaning that if you don't pass that course, there's no way you will graduate. This was in 100 level. When my results came out in 100 level, if I can remember very well, most of my results were just A and B. It was that particular one, the introduction to computer. I saw that I had an E. So I was like, what's going on? How come I got an E in this course? So I went to do my findings, and we did a course at both theory and practical. So it was like 2 parts that we did in the exam. So they said that it was only one part of the course that was recorded for me. Interestingly, the lecturer who took the course, he left school for his master's or one PhD program, so he was not even in the country. So the person that took us the course that was supposed to meet so that he would help me follow up and let us know how to find solution was not even available. And I kept following up until I think I got to final year. We were in a prayer meeting one time, and one of my senior prophet friends, he said there's somebody here that the enemy is trying to use a course to stop them from graduating. At the time when he said that thing, the issue was still very fresh. So it had not dawned on me that this is what the enemy is planning. So I followed up. It was not working. No. I had to now take the course again. I think this was my final year now. I took the course again. The same thing happened. If the devil mean you, if you don't carry power to put him in his place, wisdom does not solve power problem. I said, what is this? A very similar thing played out. I was like, what's going on? They now told me that if you don't resolve this issue, because it's a university required course, you have a spillover. That means you pay school fees again. So one day I slept and I had a dream, and the Lord revealed to me that I needed to bind the strong man. So I did. So I followed up. I think they were able to later find my script or something in this final year own that I wrote now. But the dean needed to sign before they could upload it in our portal. Dean man was doing like this, and the time was short. I went to pray and I said, Father, the Bible says that the heart of a king is in the hands of God, and he turns it however he wills. This man, I may not have access to him, but please let this thing be enforced for my sake. At my school, normally you can check your results on the internet. However, you can't check it outside the school premises. You have to be within the school premises for you to be able to check your result. So I was in school, I think it was on a Saturday, and I just had that impression in my spirit to check the result. Meanwhile, I checked the previous day, which was Friday. There was no change. So in my mind, I was like, why am I checking results on a Saturday? Who works on Saturdays? Then I checked that result, and lo and behold, it was changed and I had an A. Somebody will say, hey, leave physical things for physical. The line between the spiritual realm and the physical is lean. It's a thin line. Very thin line. Yeah, so there are certain issues that when you look at it, trust God for. I pray that the spirit of discernment is going to rest upon us. Yeah, so that we will know the one that is a battle and the one that is just something that is happening by natural occurrence. Why? Because we are the ones that will put the devil in his place. I think I've shared this story with us, where a pastor took one of his church members to the house of, I think at the time the man was the 7th senator, if I'm not mistaken, because the man was looking for a job. He took the man to the senator's house, and for him to get a job, the moment he got there, he became sick. We were asking him questions. Sickness just came upon him. When they left, the sickness left. He took his number. There are people that the devil sit on their head like this, that they will not move. And sadly, a person can be a believer if he's not conscious of the reality of such operations of darkness, the enemy can be taking advantage of him, and he would think that it's just normal thing that is happening. So certain things that will happen to some person and they will just say it is well. Another person will say God punish that devil. There are two different things. So let's be discerning. Let's be discerning.